Good morning. How's everyone doing?
All good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
You good?
Yep. Got to sleep around 3:30 in the morning. Up straight away. Maddie was a little devil this morning, and then she managed to 2 days in a row managed to like pee herself when we've been changing the nappy and get on the clothes. Got a lot of washing to do this weekend. Alright, so welcome everyone. We've got 17th of November, last day of the week. Let's try land this plane together. It's been quite a plane.
Yeah.
It's been, let's go and do a little bit of analysis here. This week for German 40. Oh, let me just add a couple little things here. Hey Peter.
Yeah, mate.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, thanks Don. Yeah, mate. Cool. Alright, so this week in German 40, what a week. It's just been, every single day's been bullish. We had, hey Jackie. I don't want this on here anymore. I want this one. Look at this 3 weeks in a row. Just crazy. Just bang, bang, bang. I'm on the back of news, so we had a lot of news on this week. This is the one we had FOMC, we had NFP as well. Is that right? Was that last week? No, that was this week. Yeah, that was this week. Oh, someone's here to see me. Hold on. We have a visitor. We have a very unhappy lady. What's wrong? You've been a little devil this morning, haven't you? There you go. Okay. So grumpy.
She just wants to walk around.
Yeah. Alrighty. I've got a grumpy lady in the house. And make it two. Cool. Alright, so sorry about that. We had Monday, started the FOMC and NFP, and it was just a monster week for German 40. Last week we didn't have much on the way of news whatsoever. And we can see like the volume was just really quite small most of the days, only late little moves. And then this week we had another lovely week full of news, and it's just been pumping. Now we're up at this level, and this is a level I've got my eye on, so I find it's I feel like if we can get a little bit of an up move with this open, because around this 15-minute candle currently usually has been a bit of a pump candle, and then I'm actually thinking I've got some buy limits set for like the Asian low from yesterday, but I'm thinking rejections from up here in this like wiki zone. I just think it's been such a big week for this market. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Daily chart, well, I've got my eye on correctly picked reactions from this level yesterday with New York Open. So that was pretty much on point. Lovely little reaction here. Yesterday was a bit of a downer week. yesterday was a bit of a downer session. Didn't really do a whole lot. We had a little bit of retail sales, and we had Philly manufacturing index. We've had retail sales this morning for UK 100. I think this is a prime area just to see reactions from. So I really would like to see a little pump up, and then I don't think we're going to hit 15,900 today. I don't think so. I think we'd probably be a bit more of a little bit of a correction. But you can just see like there's so much liquidity left behind, so much gravity underneath here. So I can just imagine that there's probably more downside than upside on a day like today after a week that we've had. If we go to the 4 hour, 4G, 4 hour, you can see that what we've actually done, apart from that little pump that we had in London session started right here, and then it pushed up, and then ever since then we've just been compressing. You can see the volume that's in the market right now. These are the smallest candles we've seen in the Asian session for a long time. It's the smallest 4 hour candle we've seen in a long time as well. So you can see, like, I feel like there's since down here, that was the last 4 hour candle that's been that small all the way down here. So I can imagine that we're going to see, if we're going to have another drive up, it's going to need to pull back first to do that. I just don't think we can drive up without having that pullback first. So I'm still think there's going to be a bit of an up move, just to trap the buyers. But I think I think there's better trade opportunities to the downside. What do you guys reckon? You guys agree with that thesis? If I look over to the left, the area I've gotten, like, I really like this. I really like this zone. I'd love to be able to see if we can actually sweep that. I like that. So that is this here. That's price is 15,880 to 15,900. So I'm gonna have. I was even thinking of having like a little sell limit at 15,900, and I was thinking of having a buy limit over around here, 15,700, and right where we are at 15,830. We know the London range is going to be, well, if we get a decent London session, we're going to be about 120 pips, either to the downside or to the upside, or maybe even pushes up, and then it crashes from there. So, you know, that 120 pips range can happen anywhere really, but if it just opened with no bottom wick and went 100 pips straight up, that would put us, well, I don't think it's going to be able to go 100 pips straight up. If we go even 80 pips in the first hour, I think we can get a decent reaction, and that's going to put you right in line with the top of this area. And I'll go to the left and I'll show you exactly what that area is based on the 4 hour chart. But I'm keen to take sells, really keen to take sells off of this level. If we can do 120 pips to the downside, I think that's going to be big enough for a London range, and what that will be putting us in the vicinity of these monthly levels right over here. So I'm pretty keen to be buying from here and selling from here. But of course I'm going to try and get a trade up to those levels or down to those levels. But those are my levels, my extremities I'm looking to trade from for this London Open. That makes sense? That makes sense?
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we'll analyze a little bit in here soon, but let's use the 4 hour chart and let's just go to the left. Actually, no, it wasn't even on the 4 hour chart. My bad. Anyway, let me just replay some of this data. This makes it a bit. Morning, Maron. Oh shoot. Let's cut this off. So not on the 4 hour, it's not on the 3 hour, it's not even on the 2 hour, it's on the 1 hour. So I can see that this was the manipulation zone. If I just extend this up a little bit, I feel like this is the manipulation zone. This is the price. This is the little boundary where price pumped up into this area, had a little pullback, and then we just drove up Then we consolidated for a little bit. We fell back to this level. We actually managed to close at that level, had a little bounce. Temporarily just pushed down. This is a bit of a 4-hour wick. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we still closed up in this level. Then we saw this hour chart where we sort of consolidated a little bit here, and then we finally reacted off this, and then we've just never been back to that level ever since. So I can imagine that this is a manipulation zone, and I can imagine that we could have bounces off the bottom of it, but we might have a better bounce from the top of it. So both of these areas are targets of mine to look for reactions. Maybe a 20 pip reaction from the bottom of it, preferably a lot. Maybe you know, if we do get a bit of a pump up, this might be the high of the day, this 15,900 area. I'll be pretty surprised if we do pump above it, but you know, crazy things can happen with German 40. But this zone, right on my radar. This 15,880 to 15,900. Really like that area. Okay, that makes sense. Why I'm targeting this zone. For yesterday, when price pumped up with New York Open, this is the area that I said to keep an eye on and look for reactions from. This daily, like this this Asian low area. Really keen to see price react from that because of the daily time frame. Go show you the daily, and then also you'll see on, so that daily was their body, this body of this doji candle, and you can see like the line that I had here. This one corresponds with a New York low and a London high, and it's just above the monthly close levels. So that's a super level in my eyes. When I see things like this, I know there's going to be a reaction at that level, and that is what we. I didn't close it. This is where we got that reaction from yesterday, right over here, and it was a pretty bad session yesterday in London session. It just ranged, so took a couple break evens in the London Open, and then just gave up for the rest of the session until unemployment claims came in. Cool. All right, so let's go to the 30-minute chart, and we'll just have a look. We're just consolidating. We're not really showing anything here. We just want to see like this area. This is where I'm targeting. If we can push up to here, do a buy to sell, I'd love to see that, but I don't even think we're going to get this high. I think we might react somewhere between like lower than yesterday's New York high. Maybe this neckline might hold up somehow. Maybe this neckline will hold up somehow. Or maybe we do take out the New York high and do that daily candle wick fill. But anywhere above this line, I'm going to be looking for reactions to sell down. Okay, if we're pumping up, I would be a little bit cautious to take any of the breakouts, but if we can break and then push down and then sort of stabilize and then start to push up again, I think we're going to go and fill some of this area, but ultimately the sales will come in today. Just got to be patient. Okay. Anyone got any other ideas? After such a huge week, there's got to be a breather. And I thought Thursday would be a breather yesterday. New York session definitely lacked the same. Well, it wasn't that big on the day before, was it either? But Asian session, pre-London, and then just the initial 30 minutes of London, really, like, this created quite a nice little bullish rally. So I would imagine that where I'll be targeting would be at least to come and actually make a little bit of a low here. So I'd like to see that. The way this 30-minute candle's closing is actually pretty interesting, because it looks like we're already creating a resistance. So we've got no wick here, so this is a bit of a red flag for me. I would like to see taking the Asian high But if this 30-minute candle in 9 minutes can close like this, then we're actually creating a resistance. When we see that, then I think we can do a wick fill. If we can break under that, then what we're traveling into is this part of the move. If we can close inside of this, then we can go to the bottom of this. And if we can break under this, we can keep on dropping. But a lot to like about for the downside. We just got to make sure you don't get too hasty into it. But there should be a downside move. There's Euro News speech at 8:30, CPI at 10. Yeah, there's a bunch of speeches, isn't there? A lot of Villeroy. Sounds like a Hogwarts Harry Potter, doesn't it? This guy. Lagarde, Holzman, Vucic. We had heaps of ECB speakers yesterday as well. And then you got the Eurozone CPI. But this is a little bit one of those. It's one of those figures that it depends on the news source, because the CPI has already been out. This is just if there's any revisions, and there's not usually any revisions needed. So sometimes it has a null effect. But it's also at 10 o'clock as well. We'll try to be done by then. But something to definitely be cautious of. Traders fully price 100 basis points of ECB rate cuts in 2024. Yeah. All right, let's go to all chart view. Still got this little data issue. Oh, trading up, people can't see that. See this? Little data issue on here still. All right, is that time as well to give the stream a bit of a like if you can. Awesome, thank you. Let's do a general poll. What do you guys think? Bullish or bearish for this London session? Oh yeah, you sure? Go for it, mate. You can share your analysis, absolutely. Jim, you're bearish out of the blocks. If you're looking for a to blast straight away. Cool. We've got Ryan's bullish, Andy's bearish, Danny's bullish. Bit of a mix. Yeah. And then the next question is, where are you bearish from? Where are you bullish from? Buy to sell? Yeah, I'd like to see buy to sell. I'd really like to see a buy to sell. Just hopefully we can, where we're going to look to buy, to sell from.
No. Howdy, Haydos.
Hey mate, how are ya?
Good.
So we had like a little no wick candle over here. This one just got taken by this candle, which created a little bit of a liquidity candle. Yeah, I think if we're seeing resistance forming, we've got 3 minutes to London Open. I'd really like to see a bit of a sweep, and then say we can start breaking under here. Then I think we can push down into this New York lows. We're still closer to the high of yesterday than we are to the low of yesterday. So if you're going to look and say like, where do we want to buy from? If you're bullish, do you want to be buying in, like, if this was your daily candle, if this, we opened yesterday here and we closed here, that was your top wick, that was your bottom wick of your daily candle. Do you want to be buying at this point? So anticipating that this daily candle, if you're bullish, if you think the lower wick is done and you think it's just going to be bullish from there on, or do we think that this wick could go a little bit lower? So I'd imagine that we're going to, like this wick, if we're going to be bullish, I think we can at least create a little bit of a lower wick. Hey Tom, David, look for a strong 15-minute rejection to buy, and if I miss it, I will try find that 15,900 reversal sell. Yep, sounds good, definitely. Jim took a sell when it took out the 3 minute imbalance. Yeah, I'm looking for it just to push up and then start breaking under here. If this one's gonna close soon, like another rejection candle, we might just drop straight away. But I'd love it to buy to sell. Fingers ready on the trigger. And you're selling down to 15,769 to sweep this like this area into this Asian high. Yeah. All right, here we go. Chris would like to see a reaction to M3 Asian HCS to sell. 3 minute HCS. Oh, 1850. Yeah. Anyway, the higher we can get up to here, those sells would be nicer. But we might just go, or it might be no reaction because we had poor retail sales. So let's see. 8 seconds. Okay, here we go. Okay, took a sell. Took a sell, but it looks like it's lagging. I sold the Asian high. See if this can flip. If we can start pushing under here, then I think I've got a primo entry, especially for the prop account. You got slipped? What were you, is this prop account or live charts, George? Prop? Yeah, I think it's because of the servers that they put you on, or put us on. It's always slightly behind live charts, and I think it's, you'll get the, whatever's better for them. Come on, let's flip. Let's start breaking under here. Okay, I won't let this be a losing trade, that's for sure. I was up around 10 pips when I was down here. Yesterday I was up 15, didn't do anything, ended up being a break even. This bad boy is going to come back and just break even me as well. Second retest of the Asian high. Yeah, we're going higher. All right. I'm out of this one. That was a nothing trade. Let's see where it's going to go to. Filling that wick is not a good sign for those sells just yet. So I gave it a good shot. No. This wasn't to be. Let's see what it can do. So a bit of an impulsive one. Just looking at when it pushed up, thought, well, we'll see, but I think I'm gonna have to wait for it now to actually form a proper resistance, and then either start closing under this level again, or if it can drive up higher, then obviously I'd like to take sells from up there again. I have to change this. Would be really nice if this 15-minute candle, this top left, can close something like that. Or even if it can push up into this level. If we have to wait for it to go all the way like that. Danny's in the longs. Okay, second attempt at this monthly level. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dave, you're long. Chris is broke. Yeah, there's definitely bullish pressure here.
This is going to explode.
Looking good for these longs now. Nice close. So this level's from yesterday. Monthly levels can stay. This zone, this one can stay. Targeted long from the open up to the 15-minute no wick at 15.857. Oh yeah, up here. Yeah, makes sense. See if it sweeps up there before the low. Yeah. It needs to do enough to get buyers interested. So I think this is just a pullback first before we continue up a bit higher. And I'm not looking for these longs. Especially not after like taking a sell from here. I'm not gonna flip and take another buy, another trade so quickly. Just need to watch price, let it do its thing.
I took a short off the 30-minute resistance.
Off this neckline.
Yeah.
Cool. Sarah short as well. Give me night. Ooh, nice. It'll break the low. Morning, Heath. Come on, drop. Think they got enough buyers interested? Yeah, let's see. I think 20 minutes for them to get buyers interested would be a good amount.
And then sweep them.
Yeah. Look, another 7 minutes of that. And the 15 minutes coming to a close. Still looking very strong.
Very.
I thought there's just a pullback for now. Just crazy, like how it's been, isn't it? What a rally! How many points is this? Is this 1200? 1276. So that's like, if we do that a percentage, so 1276 divided by, what's the price now? What did it start at? 14,588. So it's an 8.7% rally. So this German indice, driven from here, 8.8%. Basically no pullbacks. Just little shallow one. All the rest has just been sideways. It's just been rally, base, rally, base, rally. Finally a little bit of weakness where the New York session pushed up and then came down, but still couldn't even really break the London low. And it kind of resembles somewhere in here. So I'm wondering if we do get that. Just a temporary, like I still like to see the stock market stay bullish, but just give it a little bit of a reprieve to reset, to continue that upside, because I hate selling. Not like, I mean, I like selling on if the session makes sense for it, but I don't like it when it's trending down, like over here, because you get these really aggressive pullbacks. So I much prefer when the stock market's bullish than bearish. Yeah, probably still another 5 more minutes of them getting those buyers interested. Yeah, still going up. So it's the story of the week again for a lot of these moves, whereas getting like little small starts and then just couldn't get any decent follow through until New York session for most of this week again. You long traders, where you're targeting? $8.57. Yeah. $15,900. Oof, that'll be a lovely buy. All the way up to here. Okay, last 2 minutes. What's that? I was on the phone. Ryan targeting 15,880. Yeah. Find the urge. Yeah, you were talking about that yesterday. Okay, last minute of this 5-minute candle. Let's see how it's going to form. M3 had HCS from both sides, so flip a coin which way. The retest of the M3 HCS of double bottom wasn't compelling enough for you, but hey, buys are working. Yeah, it's because there's so much bullish pressure. So we're either going to have a quick one. There's going to be a quick take the Asian high, and then bearish pressure will come in. But it wasn't having it. It was just getting counteracted. And it was just continuing buying. So until then, there's like, unless it was taking a quick reaction off the Asian high, there's nothing here. There's a little bit of necklines and things to break through, but the real sell zones I'm waiting for aren't a little bit higher up. Well, if we start to see price stall at a certain level, then we can reassess what it's reacting from. About 20 minutes, see the 20-minute marks here. See if it can start to break through some of these, create like a bit of a resistance, start breaking some of these supports. Is that 4 trades in the first 20 minutes, Chris? Or just all day? Oh, in the first 20 minutes, too many. Well, it's not the explosive open I was anticipating. Well, I wasn't anticipating it would be explosive, but it's only been 25 pips. Sort of just grinding away. I think I could get into buy, like if we're going to keep on going up, if we can make a support and then we can be closing above here, I think that's going to open the gates to then start to push up to this level. So I would like to see some sort of pullback, some close above here, maintain it above here, and then I'd like to trade it from 1850 up to at least 15,880. So 850 to 880. Then I'll look for sells from this area. Every day this week. London Open's just been bullish. Richie, are you on the long side? Is that what you're looking for? If you're aiming that high up, I'll try my best to hold. Oh no, did you trade what you feel comfortable with, Rob? Definitely trade what you feel comfortable in. And if you're really fighting the urge to hold, like there's no real reason, like price action not telling you any reason to stop holding that buy for now. Oh yeah, it's bullish for all money, isn't it? Yesterday pulled all the way up to the start. Not until not until New York. Not till here. Okay, let's at least go to the New York high now. Yeah, definitely daily wick fill now, for sure. I think it's even going to go a little bit higher. I want to go to my sell zone. I'm going to have a little sell limit at 15,900. I'm just taking the New York high and previous daily high. It's probably got a little bit more juice to give. Up to 15,880. Damn, man. Would have just straight up. Holy. EU speakers now. Oh yeah, that's right. 8:30. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Same as yesterday, there's a whole bunch. Yeah, it's a great trade, Dave. Oh, good one, Danny. Gonna see if I can get a reaction here first. Not gonna. Oh, I still got the sell limit, but I'd like to use a smaller stop loss if I could. With a sell limit with no confirmation, I don't know where my stop loss should go. When I've got a price action like rejection wicks and things, I'll put it above the rejection wick. So for now, I think I'm looking to sell from this level, but I'm gonna wait for it to react off it first. Does anyone know if from within the TradingView, is it possible to go to a subscription page? You mean you just want to see like the different offers? Is that what you're trying to do, Tom? Yeah, I think you just type in Google TradingView subscription plans. think that should bring up that one. Yeah, 70% off the premium plan. I think 40 or 50% off the Pro Plus. There's a few other plans there now, isn't there? Sarah's eating pips on GJ. Yeah, Jesus, man. Pound, yen. Yen came in with a vengeance. My Aussie yen trade that I had on closed out at a loss, unfortunately. So I want to see something like this. If it goes up a bit further, we'll take sell based on weekly candle wick, similar to you. Stop loss above weekly wick. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of planning here now. Just trading to see what reaction we get inside of these wicks. Three minutes forming a little bit of a setup. Like that would be a little bit of a setup. If this can flip and close bearish, got 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute. This would be potentially a 3. Like it's dangerous, but this is a 3 minute resistance formed. If this closes like a rejection wick. No bottom wick yet. All right, so it is a little 3 minute resistance. Now this, if this high is broken, then we'll continue on to 15,900. If this high can hold and we can close under support, then I think we can go back and retest some of these imbalance candles. See if there's any headlines from these speakers. If this can flip bearish, I'll try a sell here. 15 minutes coming to a close. Yeah, I think it's worth a little shot. Stop loss will be just above it, using low risk. So it'll be something like this. Using small stop loss. Try to keep the risk reward quite good for this one. Yeah. If it's rejecting off this low, coming back up and fighting back into this wick again, then I'll close this one. But the 15 minutes come to a close now, so it's dangerous because the 15 minutes closing. Just want to see it break under these wicks. Okay, I don't want it to reject off this. This is the danger point for me. Rejecting off of here. Come on, keep dropping. Beauty. All right, I'm gonna secure, because of how my week's going, I'm gonna secure a little bit here, so that I got something to show for this one. It's above 1 to 1, or more or less 1 to 1. Richie's in the cowboy trade. Good. Yeah, yeah. This can't be a losing trade now. See, I had to wait. Like anticipation entry would have been beautiful here, but I was pretty I wasn't certain. But we've got the resistance candle, doji's accumulating orders, resistance candle, breaking these lows, beautiful. As it was closing. So it flipped down and then it pushed up back up a little bit. Breaking underneath this, imbalance, clean candles to the left. Hopefully we can just keep on dropping and dropping and dropping. At least to fill some of these. Still very bullish in the market. We don't ever think we're not bullish in the market right now, but we've created that imbalance, like that kind of buy to sell kind of move, or at least buyers exhaustion here. There's a lovely area for buyers to close some. Thanks, Richie. Yeah. What's my risk management in terms of stop loss size? If it's an entry like this, it's above here, above the rejection wick. The first one, the highest one. If it's just like a random order, like a pending order, it'll be somewhere between like 20 and 30 pips. If I can, like, if I'm a little bit uncertain, like it depends on also how I'm traveling for the week, and like my past trades do impact my trading. I know that is a fault of mine. That if I kind of like having a clean slate if I can. So often this week I've just been constantly getting into 10, 15 pips positive, and then having nothing to show for it. So when I get that enough, I'll secure some along the way. So at least I can, if I can avoid moving my stop loss to break even, I will. But so many times I want to leave it running, and I want to try and maximize the target. And I find that as soon as I do that, I'm constantly getting stopped out. So it's a real, trade management is a real pain in the ass for traders. The best way to do it, there's no perfect way to do it. It's purely, it's so dependent on, if you can just have one rule that you follow 24/7, you just don't care about changing it, and you're going to know that it's not going to work in every single condition, then it's probably best for your mind. But I'll often change my risk management if I'm in because I was doing quite well for the month, so I'd be happy to risk a little bit more and then just go for it. But more times than not, that kind of, as soon as I start changing things, it's the first trade that you change it that you take a loss on it. So it's quite important that you stick to a rule, or just stick to just try to be consistent in either reviewing your trades and constantly trying to adapt, because we'll see little market intricacies quite regularly. Like this week, we've seen basically the London Opus has been bullish all week. Last week we saw that the moves often started from a no wick candle, and I can see that on this one. On some brokers, this candle here started with no top wick, so that was a good sign. Normally it's not a good sign. All right. Well, I think it was had to be bloody patient, and it's annoying when you're being patient and you're seeing it move. So it is so. I think it's one thing you got to get comfortable with trading, and it's sometimes it's nicer to trade by yourself, because when you're waiting patiently for something to happen, the human nature is we have FOMO a lot as well, and I don't really care about now getting, I used to have FOMO bad, but then it's still hard. I don't think it ever leaves. That if I was looking, because I tried that sell initially here, and it didn't give it, and then it was just hesitating a lot. So then as soon as it started going bullish, I didn't want to change my bias, because I know as soon as I flip my bias, it never works out well for me. But so then it was bullish, and then when you see people that are trading up, right, and it's and it is going up, you feel like, oh, have you done something wrong? And all those little doubts come in your mind, and that's when you'll flip bullish and you'll take a buy at the absolute wrong time. Now, people want to, you want to be experiencing the same feelings that other people are experiencing, that when it's going long and you're not. But you can't let that get to you, and that's where it's really plan your trades, because I understand, because I used to be like that I'd be quite frustrated that if I was just not being part of the move, part of the excitement, yeah, we're winning the trade, we're making money, and all those emotions, they're quite negative, and they will make you miss a trade. So you got to stay quite clear, and then just hold true with your zones. Don't set one zone. If it doesn't work, where's your next trade zone? And the next trade zone was here, and failing that, if it was going to continue up here, the next zone was here. And I was comfortable taking the sell from here, but this one here, I needed a bit more confirmation, and that was when I had to wait for the setup. And the setup is using it. I don't really like using the 1 minute chart, but on the 3 minute chart, this is a picture perfect sell. Picture perfect sell. So probably just gonna keep on dropping now. I'm out. But we get the reversal quite often around this. How many times have I, even on people that haven't watched the stream for too long, this is normally the time I go for that coffee, like around 8:40, isn't it? Around 8:40, 8:45, and that's often the time that we get a bit of a reversal. The move was very clean up. When you have clean candles up, you can usually get clean candles down. We had a reaction, consolidation, anticipation entry would have been right here. If I really trusted this level, if this was up here, I would give anticipation entry a go. Well, I say I would, but at the time, if it moves up really aggressively, it does still give you that little doubt. But I liked, like this was nice. And then, but anticipation would be trying to trade in some of this wick, and it's going to be bloody hard to do. If it's a confirmation entry, you're waiting for this candle to close. Late entry would be if you're more late entries are kind of better with the trend going in your favor as well. Right now this is absolutely counter trend, so I don't want to take a late entry. But late entry would be waiting for it to push down, then coming up, create a resistance to retest this low. But we don't really have, like, the trend is very much to the upside. But it just made sense to come back and refill these candles, respecting this monthly level. Tom 1%, awesome. Jim took 50% now, leaving to see if it gets to 15,764. Oh, that'd be fantastic. All the way down here, that'd be awesome. Do you see the JPY pairs correcting now? I kind of pissed off of JPY, Sarah, because these guys literally they talk so much crap. It's just constant verbal intervention, and then when it comes time to act, nothing. So it's just this constant whipsaw. The yen just weakens. It weakens, like, because they're all, yen's always on the second half of the pair. It's always the second half of the pair. So for them weakening, price goes up, and it's like it's just weaken. Then they'll be like, oh, we're going to one of the things they'll say is like, we're not going to intervene in the market. Price goes up, pushes down, we have intervened in the market. Then price will just deteriorate. Oh, we might come off yield curve control or ultra easy policy. Yen goes down. Time it comes to act, nothing. Goes up again. We're going to do something this time. Comes down, then goes up. And I've seen this like 50 times in a row. So it's it probably will correct because they probably do nothing.
Did they not introduce quantitative easing, or have I misheard that? I haven't watched the news.
Quantitative easing, you mean tightening?
Yeah, tightening, sorry.
Well, they did increase the range that they'll buy back bonds.
Okay.
So they weren't going to keep such an easy policy. They're going to loosen a little, tighten up a little bit, and but they've said they were going to do that, and then they actually did let it go a little bit over what they said they would, and that created like a shockwave through the Japanese bonds, but then it they normalize it. So they do these like little scares, but they never actually act on it. Yeah. So it's hard to say what they're going to do. What is showing though is that they are more consistently hitting their 3% inflation target. So if that's the case, then they're not, because they're a huge buyer of US debt. And if their inflation's going up, they're not going to buy that anymore. They'll start buying like assets inside their own country if their inflation's going to be steadily increasing. So if that's the case, then you're going to see yen gain strength.
Okay.
But they've been for a year now hitting their inflation goals. But that was mainly because of like their COVID, post-COVID, or everyone else having like super inflation. They get like a tiny bit of inflation because they've been in deflation for so long. But the longer they can stay in this inflationary environment, they don't want to keep on importing this inflation if they can actually maintain inflation internally. But right now they're importing inflation, and that means letting their currency weaken. So they're importing, they're deflating they're making their currency less valuable, and that's going to cause a monetary inflation. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna cut the trading stream off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a like and a subscribe if you like. I'm gonna continue on my channel for a bit longer. Okay, over at Haydos FX. So that was our little trade for the day. Banked around 25 pips, so that's pretty nice. Had to patiently wait for this, and kind of annoying that it wasn't able to take buys into the sells, but it is what it is. Still got a nice little, at least a 2-to-1 right there. Awesome. Alright guys, well, come over to Haydos FX if you want to continue. Otherwise, have a great weekend. See you soon. Oh, Peter, you left the Zoom, did you? Alrighty. Trading nuts done. Close that tab. Computer can breathe a little easier now. Computer was nice and warm. It's actually nice on these cold days. Everyone understood this trade? Anyone not understand that trade?
I just keep getting surprised with these reversals. I mean, I understand it logically; it makes sense. I just
remember the
how and when it happens, and it's like,
remember the formula. It is,
yep.
You want to see one of the 4 setups. So entry types. Oops. Entry types. But what's most important? It's got to be at what?
A point of interest or a zone of interest.
Yeah. It's got to be at a poi or a zoi. Point of interest or zone of interest.
And then timing.
Yeah. And then the entry type. Pretty hard to get cowboy here. But anticipation, confirmation. I don't particularly want to take a late, because late entry is better if you're in alignment with the trend. This is definitely not. But this was the zone, right? This is the one we just discussed at the start. This this bluish box with the purple outline. It was based on, if we go all the way over here to the left. Just look at the zone again. This is what we need to focus on. It's like, why is this a manipulation area? Well, price pushed up into it, created a little resistance. That was the boundary of where it rejected from. Price pushed up. Just that alone is usually not enough to say, oh, I like this zone of interest. What I want to see is candles now coming back and like reacting at this zone again. So why did it close right here? Then why did these candles necklines close right here? Why did they react off the top of it? And then once we closed underneath it, and we actually finally got that continuation, wicked up, and then we just pushed all the way down. Now, this, so that we can see that this is a manipulation area. Price has bounced off it a couple times, and now first time back to a level, that's the best time you want to be taking the trade. Is first, like, we know if that was a manipulation area, there should be something. First time back, we should at least get a reaction, and it might not be enough to change the trend, but it should be enough to get a reaction. Now it's market timing as well. So we've got a zone of interest already established because of it looked like a manipulation zone. Then price is coming up to it, and we've got a first time touch. So we should have like just the way that orders work in the market, there will be leftover orders at this level. Plus there'll be other people looking at this zone as well, thinking, I might have little sell limits there. Now, what we want to see then is signs of it reversing, and that's usually those rejection wicks. And then also we want to put in market timing. So we know the first hour of London will be somewhere between 60 and 80 pips of volume. And if we can get 60 to 80 pips of volume in this first hour candle, then we can look for it to like leave a wick or like have a little rejection, or the next candle open and pull back to create that bottom wick to keep on driving up. And that's usually enough to get these like little counter trend moves as well. Now, when do we want to see that? If we want to see how many times have we seen now that London will go one direction until like the last like 15-20 minutes of the hour, and then we get like a 20-30 pip move in this time, counter to what the initial volume was. So that's time in the market. And that was it, you know, that was it from top to bottom. Not looking for targets that are too crazy, but from top to bottom we had a move of 38 pips. Only managed to take 25 of them. But did we have enough volume in it? Yeah, we had 63 pips, so that's enough volume in the first like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the candle to then sustain like a little bit of a pullback if we get the confirmation and it's at a zone of interest. Remember that data that we had? Where is it? It's on this other thing. Oh, gyro. Sorry to hear, buddy. Where is it? London session. This one. So pulled from German 40. So we look at like, see the first hour. This is hour one. Like not hour one, sorry. This is the very first hour of the London session, and this is how many pips it often moves, and then this is how many times it occurs. How many pips? Other way around, sorry. No, wait. Let me just get my bearings. This is how many pips down here. And this is how many number of times. So the average...
Frequency and magnitude, yep.
Yep. So the average, the median, well the most common, kind of thing, like around 78 pips in this first hour. Right, so we're normally sitting around here, which is between 50 to 80 for the first hour. Second out in the second, so 9 till 10, it drops to 53 pips. Okay, so we're looking at the most average volume is going to be somewhere between 50 and 80. So if we can get 50 to 80 pips up into a zone of interest, and then towards the end of the candle we start seeing signs of reversal. If this is happening, say like 2 minutes before the hour candle closes, then I'd say this is fraught with danger, because you're not given enough time to create that little bit of a pullback for the top wick. And most of the time that what we see candles do is they can shoot up, and then they sort of do this. Oh shoot, sorry. don't they? They push up, come down, leave a bit of a top wick, fill it a little bit more, come down, fill it a little more, come down, and then close like that. Very common.
Yep.
But like, I didn't want to target, you know, full reversal at this stage, because I know that, you know, you're still going with that volume with the higher time frames, and it's like you just get all these wick fills, price pushes up, comes down, creates a bottom wick, starts to fill the wick. So when there's momentum in the charts, these wicks will be getting filled. There's clearly momentum. If we look at the trend, clearly momentum.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I know it's a very specific strategy, and I'm just trying to internalize it, I guess. It keeps surprising me. So
Yeah,
it's all good. And thanks for that, by the way. That was helpful.
no, you're welcome. You're welcome. And if you are looking for longs, it's kind of a pain. Like I know I'm a bit too rigid in my bias a lot of the time, and like if it's just going up and up and up, I kind of refuse to just flip going bullish. But then I look for this at a zone that I like. But if the market's clearly trending, you know, once it makes a high, and we've got a bullish, like, it doesn't make sense. For me, it kind of doesn't make sense that if this was my target, because I thought, you know, we're probably going to react from this level, why can't I just get buys from there as well? I don't know why I find it really difficult to sell, like to take a trade immediately after another trade. But this was a perfect buy zone, you know. Price pulls back and then keeps on going up. So there's so many moves here that you can be taking. That's why I quite like looking at the charts afterwards. Why I think it's so important to go back and have a look at your day as well, because you need to be excited seeing the opportunity that the market gives you every single day, rather than what I used to do is get myself into a real bad position trading, and I can feel like it feels like you're just fighting the markets, and then as soon as you finish that fight, you don't want to look at your opponent. But I find it quite calming now to, like, I mean, I haven't got as much time in the afternoons, evenings as I used to, but just spending time then and thinking, how can I, if I was going to coach myself and I put in a performance for my session, and then I go back and have a look at the session and say, like, where was my missed opportunities? Like, buying from here, look, I couldn't have taken, there's no way I could have taken these buys. Pushing out of here. I could have got the buys if, when I was saying that price, like, I really liked this close, and then it was pushing up, and I was like, you know what? If we can get a pullback and then close it back above it again, then I can do that. Then I can go long. But it didn't even give. It just trended up. Each candle just breaking the highs, not breaking the previous candle's lows, and it never gave me that pullback. So I know, apart from it going bullish, and it's been going bullish very much this week, I still can't get into that without it having a pullback. I find it really hard to do that, and I'm not worried about missing this move so much. I would have loved to have been in it, but I don't know. It's not my entry criteria. And then once it's been pushing up, I'm like, well, you know, it kind of sucks. But even if I was looking to go in for a long, say I got in for a long here, I don't really know where to put my stop loss. Like, it makes sense a bit more under the euro low. Anywhere inside of here, price can easily, with the noise of the market, pull back and it still be bullish. So then what am I standing to make that if I put my stop loss like tight under, like just under the euro high, and I'm going for a target like up to here or up to here, I would say safely what most people were looking at correctly was 15,880. What's my risk reward in this trade? You know, it's like a 2-to-1. Okay, I could probably do the same thing if what we planned, this one, you know, this one here was 2-to-1. So there wasn't like, it's not like this move here is better than this move. It's not like this buy move was better than this sell move. It was in terms of like absolute pips, but this one I had a bit better. I was a bit more certain where I'm going to put my stop loss because of what I saw in price action. Whereas here, when it's just pushing away, I want to keep my stop loss under support. I don't have any supports in here, so I'd have to put my stop loss under here. So now I'm making, like, I'm still gonna be like, if I'm really comfortable that this is going to be some upside here, yeah, you could do it. But I know that as soon as I start looking for those buys, me personally, I'm going to find it hard to find those sells then. And that was my first preference. I thought there should be a little bit of a sell move at least. It's all the funds of the market, huh? Just trying to understand yourself is one of the most important things in trading. Would I be looking for the sell from the double top? Yeah. I still think this is a decent area to look for those sells. Still like that zone. I'm a little bit concerned though with what these speakers are going to say, because they are talking about pausing or justifying why they've halted their hiking cycle, and then also where they're starting to price in rate cuts. So then we've got the Eurozone CPI, but it's still very much a it's still very much a sell zone for me up here.
So Hayden, thanks for that earlier before. Just reflecting on that. So why isn't the push out of the Asian and Euro high a signal to you? It's only a signal if it pushes and pulls back. But you don't think you don't think it'd be a, breaking to the New York high, the previous New York high is not a.
Oh yeah, no. I thought once it was pushing up, I was like, it makes sense to go to the New York high. It was just I didn't know how to get into it properly without like I'm far less
massive risk. It's like you're saying.
Of course, you can use low risk and it can go for like 1-to-1 risk reward. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm far more conservative when I'm streaming as well, because I know that I don't want to lead anyone into something that I find might be a bit more risky or putting you into it at a bad spot. But like, that's why I prefer pullback. I find pullbacks are easier to get into. When it's just breakout trending, I know that I'm kind of hesitating as well, because I'm kind of unsure about should I lead people down this path, and I know that by the time that other people get the trade set up, the time I get in the trade, then it's going to just get worse and worse and worse as time goes by generally. But there's nothing wrong with taking the breakout long. Absolutely nothing. It's just about how you're going to get into it. But it made sense once it closed above.
Jump to 1 minute chart on while you're saying that. You probably see a bit clearer on the one. But I think what Hayden's trying to say is, see this candle here that broke out as soon as the London session kicked in, and then it pulled back almost all the way. Like, after it took the Asian high, there's no reason it wouldn't pull back. But how are you going to know how big the pullback's going to be? Like, you enter as soon as it leaves, it could pull all the way back down to the Asian low, the Euro low, the New York low. You don't know. That's why you wait for the retest, so you know how deep it pulls back.
Yeah, this is once this one was closing, and it pulled back. It just didn't line up enough on the 3 minutes for me, and I don't particularly want to go on the 1 minute charts because it can get quite noisy. But that was the pullback.
Yeah. So
That
what's
was-
the 3 minute look like on that one?
The time 8:09. 8:09. Sorry, 8:09. It was this little red candle.
Yep.
Like even on the 3 minute charts, these two massive rejection wicks off the Asian high, it could be enough for you to just to go, maybe it's not going to go up.
Well, the
Even
thing
though
is, I
that
took a
isn't-
sell. I took a sell from there. So
I was bearish as well.
I already had that sell bias there, so it's very hard for me to take a buy because I'm not. If I'm so open to taking a buy here, that means was I really certain that this was a sell? So I'm kind of like, for me to take a trade or me to trust a trade, I need to be confident with why I'm taking it. But if I leave myself open to buying and selling, I know it's a good skill to be flexible with your bias, but I find it much more difficult to hold if I'm taking the sell and I'm thinking, oh, I might take a buy as well. If it breaks above it, then any sort of move, if I'm in that sell and any sort of move up, I'm going to start doubting that initial sell. And then if it pushes up because I thought we're going to look for a sell, then if it's breaking above here, any sort of move down, I'm going to be thinking, oh, you know what, I should have just stuck to my original bias, and now I'm in two minds already, and I don't think that's good for your bias. I think it's good for you. We know German 40 most of the time has got that double-sided volatility, yeah. So it's going to have fantastic trend moves, but then when we're going to have good enough pullbacks for counter trend opportunities. So rather try catch every single move, just try catch a move.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's something I've got to get past, is looking back at a chart and saying, oh, there were 15 moves, and if I'd calibrated my entry for each one, I could have got 14 out of them really well. You sort of create this, it's not FOMO, but it's regret or trader regret or something.
Yeah, there's always regret in trading. It's one of those things that
It's good that you can see them though. You can see.
Next to the vacuum sealer. That's the video.
go on.
If you can see 10 entries, but Tom, and when you're back testing, pick which ones of them are the most likely and easy for you to predict. That's why I draw like my little trend line and wait for it to break and then retest. Like there's a neckline retest right there, but this is a really low time frame and it's at not the best time of the day. So like if you see that regularly in the European session, I would trade that. That's why I trade the European session, because I see that set up regularly. Like might only be good to the Asian high, but more often than not to the Asian high I can get that trade.
Since
And
daylight savings,
That's really good. I can predict most days.
since daylight savings, this has been one of your best times to trade.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. That was all helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. But trading's full of regret. Even when you get a good trade, you think, oh, I could have got a better entry, I could have taken a better take profit, could have got a better top, better bottom, better something. So there's always regret in trading. So you just got to understand that that trading is definitely not perfect. You're never going to be perfect in your entries. Or not going to be able to catch all the moves is physically mentally not possible to catch every one of the moves. The more, if you can even just catch, 2 consistent moves per day, you're going to be world class. Like seriously, that's all you really need.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I have a tendency to beat myself up. Like, why didn't I get the 5 out of 5 of the moves I saw?
Mhm.
So, yeah, no, if we get one and get one every day, like you say, just
yeah, I mean, like we look at it, we've been streaming for 2 hours now. and literally day's done. It's annoying because we could have been done in, you know, if I got that move, we would have been done in less than an hour. But I had to wait an extra hour. But in the whole scheme of things, 2 hours, and I literally will. That's it. I don't need to do anything. I'll do it. I will look and set some little orders. I think just because I like putting them on, but I don't need to. And that's, you know, what's the goal that I set everyone this week, and usually most weeks is what am I gonna do today with the profits for the week?
Go for a little treat.
Yeah, I'm gonna withdraw some. Reset the account back to the start balance, so that next week, that if I lose my mind next week, then I haven't lost, like, because so many times I've done that where I've like count has been growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, then I get greedy and you see the count growing really nice, and I'll have a bad day, and like I'll just wipe out like a week of earnings. Like that used to be me. All go up and then go up, and it'd just be kind of like that. But now it's like, it'll be like, yeah, I'll have some bad trades, but it's more like this for me now. Anyway, cool. All right, well,
Thanks, mate.
YouTube, I'm going to end it here. My people, stay on. We'll have a little bit of a chat. All right, so thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for spending your Friday here. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Monday.